What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk to you about some of the lessons that I've learned since starting my own lead generation agency. And I really wanted to share them with everybody here today because I wanted to give you some real insights of things that I've come across, things that have happened, some things that could have set me back, and all about the mistakes that I've done, but also the the ways I've handled them, and the ways that that makes a big difference when you look at that compared to, let's say, uh, whether you give up or whether you don't give up. I feel like there's a lot of lessons that I've learned. And look, number one, I think before you start a lead generation agency or any other business, you have to be 100% accountable. Every single thing in your business is your fault, and every single thing in your business that's going well or not going well is your fault. And the minute that you start looking at things in that way, whether you could say it's the market or it's this or it's that, like, you have to look at it as you're the vehicle to this being successful, and you have to take full accountability to make sure that you are acting accordingly to make your business succeed, or not for that matter. So, couple of very important points there. The other big thing is discipline, right? And it kind of goes hand in hand with accountability, but discipline is important because every single day you have to get up, you have to really work at perfecting your outreach, perfecting the market that you're actually targeting, perfecting your offer. What are you offering people? Is it something people even want, right? There's a bunch of stuff, but you have to make sure you're disciplined enough to work on that every single day. And the minute that you dial that in and become focused on this, the better it will become. Now, one of the other bigger things is with alongside the discipline factor. I understand that, like, even myself, looking after multiple clients, plus having a consultancy gig or whatever you want to call it in project management, that also takes up a bunch of my time. So, like, I found that as I'm context switching a lot, let's say I'm in a project management meeting, then I need to go and meet a potential new client, kind of a sales call, and then I need to go and speak to another client on our weekly check-in call, and then I need to go and speak to another client to actually onboard them into our system and get the information that we need. Like, you can understand there's a bunch of different areas that you have to think about on a daily basis. Number one, you have to context switch throughout the day, that you also have to be prepared for all of these calls and these different things that are coming up. So again, kind of going back to probably the accountability and also the discipline, is you need to make sure that you're owning the relationship between you and your client, you and your potential audience as well, in terms of who you're outreaching to. So discipline is more important because every single time that you don't do something, you're, like, the way I look at it is, I'm now behind. So if I don't do it, I'm behind. And that causes a lot of probably anxiety or stress or whatever you want to call it for me. But it's the way it works for me is if I think that way, then I generally get more stuff done. But one of the other things I've learned, you can show up every day, you can be accountable every day to whether things are working or not. But one of the things that is absolutely 100% certain, you could do the best lead generation course, you could do the most research on your market, you can understand your market down to a T, but one thing is for sure, is that you'll still not fully know the right path to take. And you'll doubt yourself, and you'll think to yourself, hey, maybe this is not the right way of doing it. Maybe I could do it this other way. Or wait, actually, maybe I could do it this other way. Or, maybe if I tweak this little thing here, the author might sound better and I might get more replies. The point I'm trying to make is you must still move forward, right? They say analysis paralysis, right? There is always an option that you're thinking of that might be better than the one that you're doing right now. But the fact is, you have to still move, because the one thing that I've found in this space is the quicker that you move in certain times, the more success and results that you will get. One of the things that I did that allowed me to sign 2 clients in 24 hours, and more on that in another video, was absolutely moving quickly on follow-ups, moving quickly on answering any questions and concerns they have. That was one of the key ingredients to making that successful. So the third point I want to make is you will make mistakes and you will lose in certain scenarios, whether that would be money or time or clients or momentum. Like, you will make mistakes and you will lose a lot, but how you deal with those is absolutely everything. And I'll give you an example, right? I started my own lead generation agency, and when I started my own lead generation agency, Tartan Path, by the way, link in description, I set up all my email accounts, set up all my domains, set them up for deliverability, to be optimized, all of that stuff. I spent hours and hours and hours doing it. And then I spent hours and hours crafting the copy, crafting the right offer for people to actually want to even give me some attention of theirs, to try and actually show them how what we were doing could potentially help them, right? But one of the things that happened is I didn't set those things up correctly, and then the worst case scenario happened. All my emails were going in the spam, all my emails were not going into the inbox, and nobody was reading my emails because they weren't seeing them, and my reply rates tanked. I was on several blacklists, and anybody who's in this space will know blacklists are they're a problem sometimes. But here's the thing. That happened to me, and it basically eviscerated my entire outreach campaign. I had no active email accounts that were working after testing it all out. And I could have looked at that and said, well, maybe I could just say this doesn't work, right? That lead generation doesn't work, and I did everything correctly, but it still didn't work. Like, I looked at it as, shit, this is a problem, but also dialing in and figuring out what went wrong. And it's that business mentality, right? You're just solving problems. We're providing a service to solve someone's problem, but the other side is you're also solving your own problems all day. So one of the things that I found when working on this was that you're going to hit major losses, and you're going to make major mistakes that you don't see coming. Because believe me, I worked with certain people. I figured out what the right method of outreach was. I figured out how to set up all the email accounts. I followed YouTube videos. I saw documentation. Believe me, I done everything to make sure that worked, that was set up to work, and it didn't. And I responded by figuring out what the problem is and starting again and doing it the right way. By the way, in that time, I wasn't really even able to do any outreach for like 3-4 weeks, because I thought that as I warmed the email accounts back up again and then started, it would work, but it didn't. So then I had to, basically create the whole thing over again. And then that was a big setback for me. But I didn't look at that as a, quote unquote, failure. I looked at it as a lesson, right? And that's the biggest thing I want you to take away from this is you're going to make mistakes and they're going to feel like you're rock bottom, but if you're committed, if you're in this, then you have to keep going. Anyway, the last point I want to make in this video for things that I have learned personally from starting a lead generation agency. The last one that definitely the most important, or one of the most important, is if you don't have anyone's attention, then you are finished. Okay? So number one, there's two types of attention that, in terms of this business that we're talking about and lead generation. Number one is your emails, right? Your outreach. So the outreach has to be crafted in a certain way that it's enticing for someone to open it, read it, and reply to it, right? Because your goal with outreach is to get people to reply to you initially, right? So how do you do that? You have to do that with effective copy, right? In terms of subject line, in terms of what you're asking in your initial outreach, that kind of thing. So what I've found is there's different ways to do that, but the more you can make it seem like it's a co-worker or someone that they know, then the better it is. So quick question doesn't really work anymore, right? So I found that I've done mistakes and I realised I wasn't getting a lot of people opening the emails when I was tracking the open rates in the beginning. Not doing that now because of some changes, but yeah. Anyways, the emails have to be constructed in that way. The other one is content, right? What you're watching right now on YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever. Like, you have to post online. You have to do that, because in the beginning, when you have no case studies, right? When I had no case studies, right? Content is king, and there's people who, like, I didn't do it in the beginning. I didn't make the content in the beginning. I thought, yeah, I'll just make a couple of videos, a couple of video sales letters, and I'm good, right? But here's the thing. People want to know who you are before they talk to you, right? What's the first thing you do when you get an email from someone? You'll either look at the email address and see what the domain is, and then you'll put that email address or that domain into your browser and see where it takes you, right? And then you'll kind of get a better understanding. So, anyways, point being that the content is, you produce it one time, but it can help you essentially sell forever, right? Because people can go to your YouTube channel, they can check all the things that you've put up there, they can watch your videos, they can get a chance to understand who you are, what you're about, your personality, is it someone they want to work with or not. There's so much benefit to creating content that I didn't realize in the beginning. And once I had a client come to me, at that time they were a potential client, and when they actually signed up to work with me, what I found when talking to them is they said, well, I watched all your videos and I know what you guys do, and I know you worked in software development and I want to work with you. So before they even got on the call with me, they were already further along in the nurturing process, as you could, say, right? So bunch of stuff there, bunch of lessons that I've learned. There's many more, but I feel like those are the main ones. I would really challenge people who are in this space or looking to get in this space to, leave a comment below or like this video and just kind of let me know, what challenges have you faced? What challenges are being tough for you, and what challenges have you struggled to maybe overcome out in the past? So I really think that the business lesson that I'll leave you with today is you have this optimism at the beginning of this business model or this sort of thing working, but I'll tell you, that optimism quickly turns into you realizing that it's a lot harder than what you thought. You might have thought it was difficult in the beginning, but it's way more difficult than what you could have imagined. And you have to remember, and this is what I try to tell myself, is this is where most people give up. And I'm not giving up. And I want to work tirelessly to try and fix these mistakes that I've made, and also not make them in the future, and then keep moving forward, keep doing outreach, keep getting more attention. And the reality is, right, when you're doing a full-time job and you're doing a lead generation agency and you're trying to produce content, you're trying to keep up with your life, it is a lot, right? It is a lot. But that's where the discipline and the accountability comes in that I was talking about at the beginning of this video. So, yeah, I'd love to hear your reactions, your comments, your insights of maybe something you've learned when you started anything new, really, right? So I'd definitely be curious for that. But yeah, subscribe, like, comment. Would really appreciate your input on this. But until then, if you have any other video requests, any other information you want to know, I'm an open book, right? Like, I'm here to provide value and here to help anybody who watches these videos. So please like, subscribe, comment. I hate saying that, but all the good stuff. But anyways, for now, I'm out of here, everybody. Peace.